Imagine a world where the sun never rises and the pressure is strong enough to crush a tank like a soda can. You are standing at the bottom of the ocean, a place more alien to us than the surface of Mars. We have mapped more of the moon than we have our own seafloor. We treat the deep ocean like an empty void, but it is a landscape of extremes. It is a place where life shouldn't exist, yet it thrives in ways that defy our understanding of biology. The descent begins with the loss of light. At 200 meters down, you leave the sunlight zone. By 1,000 meters, you hit the midnight zone. Here, the sun is a myth. Total darkness reigns. The only light comes from the creatures themselves. They glow with bioluminescence, flashing blue and green to hunt, attract mates, or distract predators. It is a flickering, ghostly neon graveyard. Then there is the pressure. At sea level, the weight of the air on your body is 14 pounds per square inch. At the bottom of the Mariana Trench, nearly 11,000 meters down, that pressure hits 8 tons per square inch. That is the equivalent of having an elephant stand on your thumb. If you were down there without a pressurized vessel, you wouldn't just drown. Your body would be compressed into a dense, unrecognizable mass of tissue instantly. Yet life persists. In 1960, Jacques Piccard and Don Walsh descended to the Challenger Deep in the bathyscaphe Trieste. They looked out their tiny porthole and saw something impossible, a flatfish staring back at them. How could a creature with a skeletal structure survive at that depth? Their biology is a miracle of adaptation. Many of these animals lack gas-filled bladders. Instead, their bodies are composed of gelatinous, watery tissue that doesn't compress under weight. They are built to exist where we would be erased. The environment is cold, hovering just above freezing. Food is incredibly scarce. There is no photosynthesis here. Nothing grows. Life at the bottom relies on marine snow. This is the constant, slow rain of dead plankton, fecal matter, and decaying carcasses drifting down from the surface. It is a feast of rot. When a whale dies at the surface and sinks, it creates a whale fall. This single event provides a massive, localized buffet that can sustain entire deep-sea ecosystems for decades. It is a macabre, slow-motion banquet where every scrap is consumed, down to the skeleton. Then there are the hydrothermal vents. Discovered in 1977 near the Galapagos Rift, these chimneys spew mineral-rich, superheated water from the Earth's crust. The water can reach temperatures of 400 degrees Celsius. You would think the ocean floor would be frozen, but right next to these vents, it is a scalding, toxic wasteland. And yet, it is a bustling city. Tube worms, 6 feet long, thrive here. They don't have mouths or stomachs. They have an internal organ filled with bacteria that turn the poisonous hydrogen sulfide from the vents into energy. This is chemosynthesis. It is the only place on Earth where life is fueled by the raw volcanic heat of the planet, entirely independent of the sun. It challenges the very definition of what life needs to survive. If we look deeper, we find the Hadal Zone. This is the deepest part of the ocean, named after Hades, the underworld. It is a place of trenches and hidden peaks. In 2012, James Cameron became the first solo human to reach the bottom of the Challenger Deep. He described it as desolate, lunar, and profoundly lonely. But even there, in the deepest gash on the planet, we find amphipods, tiny shrimp-like crustaceans. We have found plastic bags, candy wrappers, and chemical pollutants at these depths. Even in the most remote, inaccessible corner of the world, humanity has left its mark. The deep ocean isn't just a place, it is a giant pressure cooker of evolution. We find creatures like the giant isopod, a crustacean that looks like a prehistoric woodlouse the size of a cat. We find the blobfish, which turns into a hideous, gelatinous mass only because it was brought to the surface. In its natural high-pressure habitat, it looks like a normal, functional fish. We are just beginning to scratch the surface. Thousands of species are discovered every year in the deep, many of which provide clues to medical breakthroughs. Enzymes from deep-sea bacteria are already used in molecular biology and even in our laundry detergents. But there is a dark side to this mystery. As we push into the deep for mining rare earth metals, we risk destroying ecosystems we don't even fully understand yet. We are racing to exploit a frontier that has been stable for millions of years. We are tearing into the seabed for copper, nickel, and cobalt, all while we barely know the names of the creatures that live there. The deep ocean is the ultimate reminder of our own insignificance. We live on the surface, huddled around the light, obsessed with our petty wars and boundaries. Beneath us, in the crushing, silent dark, a different kind of life unfolds. It doesn't need the sun. It doesn't need oxygen as we know it. It survives on the leavings of the surface and the fire of the Earth's core. We fear space because of the vacuum, but we should perhaps fear the ocean more. It is a place of absolute finality. It is a place that can crush us, hide us, and outlast us. We look to the stars to find life, hoping to find someone to talk to, someone to share the universe with. Maybe we should look down instead. Maybe the most terrifying and beautiful truth isn't that we are alone in the universe. Maybe it is that we are sharing our planet with a world that has never needed us, never known us, and will continue to thrive long after we have turned to dust. What happens when we stop looking for monsters and realize that the abyss is not just a place of death, but the very place where life begins? If the bottom of the ocean can sustain itself on nothing but heat and chemicals, what does that mean for the possibility of life on moons like Europa or Enceladus? The dark isn't empty, it is just waiting for us to find the right way to see it.